What's up, YouTube? Timmers here. Since Sean Penn is in a new film this week, one bad after another, from director PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson does, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Sean Penn movies. Because obviously he is an Oscar winning actor. Sean Penn is one of the best. So here is my list. Number 10 is the film State of Grace. Now, this of course stars Sean Penn, who of course starred with his then wife, Robin Wright. Of course, it is about Terry Noonan, who's an undercover cop who returns to his old neighborhood and infiltrates an Irish mob led by his childhood friend. You got Sean Penn, who plays Terry Noonan, who's very tough, conflicted cop torn between his mission and his roots here. It is a really nice, gritty drama. Great performances by Gary Oldman, Ed Harris, Sean Penn, Robin Wright, John Turturro. Phil Jonah, who directed this, did a great job there. It is a really interesting crime film that is well worth a watch. Number 9 is 21 Grams. Of course, this was directed by Alejandro G. Inarritu, starring Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, Naomi Watts, Melissa Leo. It's of course a tragic accident connects three strangers, a grieving mother, a critically ill mathematician, and an ex-cop seeking redemption here. And Sean Penn is wonderful as Pa, who is a dying mathematician who receives a heart transplant, leading to obsession and moral conflict. Sean Penn actually, I believe he got an Oscar nomination for this, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there. This was also, actually, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this was also one of Inarritu's last English language film he did until, I guess until Babel or until Birdman or whatever. But the guy's done some really good stuff. Sean Penn does such a great job here. Really cool. We got 21 Grams reunion with Penn and Del Toro this week with one battle to another, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, 21 Grams is a really good one. That's well worth a watch. Number 8 is Dead Man Walking. Now, of course, this does star Susan Sarandon, who I believe actually won an Oscar for this, which months are there. Sean Penn, directed by Tim Robbins. It of course stars Susan Sarandon, who plays and it's where a sister Helen, a nun who becomes a spiritual advisor to Matthew Ponislet, played by Sean Penn. A death row inmate convicted of murder here. And Sean Penn gives such a really great Oscar-nominated performance here. His chemistry with Susan Sarandon is great. Robert Prosky is great in this. Ollie Ermey. Some really good performances, and it's a well worth a watch there. Number 7 is Colors. Of course, directed by the late, great Dennis Hopper. Featuring Sean Penn, Robert Duvall, Damon Wayans, Don Cheadle. And of course, it's where two LAPD officers, one a rookie and one a veteran, who patrols the gang ridden tough streets of LA. Sean Penn plays pretty much the rookie eager to prove himself here. The chemistry between Duvall and Penn was great. This is definitely a really cool cop movie from the 80s that is well worth a watch there. Number 6 is of course his Oscar-winning role, and that is Milk. This, of course, is the true story of Harvey Milk, who's the first openly gay elected official in California. And of course, you got Josh Brolin, Emile Hirsch, James Franco. Now, I still think Mickey Rourke should have won his Oscar for the rest of that year, but still, I had no complaints of Sean Penn winning, because I still thought Sean Penn was excellent in this. Embodied Harvey Milk perfectly. Really plays the part very well. I mean, I thought it was a well-deserving Oscar win, so really good performance there. Number 5 is The Game. Of course, directed by David Fincher, starring Michael Douglas, Sean Penn. Here you got, of course, you got Michael Douglas, who plays this wealthy banker who receives a mysterious game as his birthday gift from his brother. And what starts out as an elaborate prank spirals into a psychological nightmare here. Sean Penn is great, playing Conrad's a strange free spirit brother. And he really has like some pivotal role here. He does such a good job throughout. I mean, yeah, really nice cat and mouse type game. It is a really interesting film there. Definitely one of David Fincher's like most unappreciated works there. All right. Number four is Carlito's Way. Now, Carlito's Way, of course, is directed by Brian De Palma, starring Al Pacino, Sean Penn, John Leguizamo, Luis Guzman. This, of course, stars Al Pacino as a former drug lord who is released from prison and vows to go to stray here. But his, of course, but his ties to the criminal underworld, his loyalty, friends, pulls him back into a dangerous life here. Sean Penn plays like Carlito's sleazy, drug addicted lawyer here and friend here, whose betrayal drives like the plot and all. And the back and forth chemistry with Sean Penn and Al Pacino's great. It is really fun. It is really cool. Definitely really nice, like 90s gangster movie. That's well worth watch there. Number three is actually, I guess, say one the movie that really put him on the map, like one of his like first major gig, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Here, of course, you got Sean Penn, who plays the character of Spicoli, Jeff Spicoli, who's of course this carefree stone surfer who loves pizza and dreams of layback life here, and he is great and all. He really, I guess, you say he was like the I don't know, the Steve Stifler of the '80s. Really, he's always so cool, so laid back. I've always adored this character. Like, definitely one of my favorite characters from Fast Times. I always wish they did a spin off of this character. Like, that always would have been cool. But obviously, he is not really the lead in this. Really, it is more Jeffrey Jason Lee's and Judge Reinhold's type film. But he definitely steals so much scenes in this. It is definitely one of the funniest teen comedies of the '80s. And Sean Penn's like his scenes is definitely one of the highlights of this movie. Obviously, one of the major highlights is a Phoebe Cates scene, but that aside, another highlight is obviously Sean Penn's performance. Alright. Number two is Mystic River. Of course, Mystic River is about three childhood friends who reunite for a tragedy when Jimmy's daughter, played by Fiona Gallagher herself, Amy Russom, is killed here. And Sean Penn plays Jimmy Markham, who's like a pretty much a tough ex-con turned store owner. I think Sean Penn actually, I think he actually won won an Oscar for this. I think this was actually like his first Oscar he won before Milk. But he has done such a great job in this. Tim Robbins is great. Really crazy twisted turns around. Based on a book by James, not James Patterson. Dennis Liang. That's who wrote the book. But yeah, Mystic River is a great one. I think, sorry, Lord of the Rings fans, I think this movie should have won Best Picture over Lord of the Rings. But that's just me. And my number one favorite is probably gonna be unpublished to some people, but to me, I really think this is actually his best performance. Number one is I Am Sam. Now here you got Sean Penn playing a character that he probably won't be able to play, that he definitely would not be able to play today. But here you got Sean Penn who plays Sam Dawson, who's a mentally disabled man with like a who of course with a cognitive capacity of a 7-year-old, fights for custody for his daughter Lucy, played by Dakota Fanning. When social services deem him unfit and all. And I Am Sam is excellent, great. I love the father and daughter chemistry with Sean Penn and Dakota Fanning. Michelle Pfeiffer is great. Laura Dern. You got Diane Weiss. Viola Davis, one of her earliest roles. It's a really heartfelt film. Um, I always love the moment when Sam is reading Green Eggs and Ham to his daughter. That is really heartfelt. I mean, it's just such a great one. Again, this movie probably would not go well today. Like, I don't ever see Sean Penn ever playing a character like this today. But it's still a really good one. Great performance, and it's well worth watching. By the way, it's also directed by Jessie Nelson, who, her daughter, by the way, is on The Bear, and of course she was just in in that recent film, Oh Hi, I think it was called. So pretty cool there. But anyway, I Am Sam is really good. If you guys have seen that. But that's pretty much it. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, State of Grace, 921 grams, 8 Dead Man's Walking, 7 Colors, 6 Milk, 5 The Game, 4 Carlita's Way, 3 Fast Times at Richmond High, 2 Mystic River, and number 1 is I Am Sam. Now there's a few other ones I could have added. He was actually really good as Mickey Cohen in Gangster Squad. Let's see, Fair Game he was in. Flag Day, Licorice Pizza, Ass Blast City, Daddy-O, Tree of Life, or The King's Man. Let's see, what else we got here? U-Turn that he did with Jennifer Lopez. Casualties of War. His first film was actually the Tom Cruise star movie Taft, which I always keep forgetting that was his first film. On the TV front, by the way, of course, he actually appeared on Friends, which I always keep forgetting he was on Friends. His earliest TV gig was playing a kid on Little House on Prairie. Barnaby Jones. He hosted SNL, Ellen. He appeared on Family Guy. Gaslit. I mean, oh, by the way, of course, I just saw the Charlie Sheen documentary, and he actually appeared on that as himself because he was good friends with Charlie Sheen. Uh, but anyway, let me let you guys. What is some of your favorite Sean Penn films? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Timmy.